Can you hear me, bro? I'm clear to you, right?
Yep. We're live, bro.
So, welcome everyone to the first Division Numero race in the Hybrid Theory Racing League. We are here at Portimao, and joining me in the comms box is Easy Level Bot.
Hi, Yash. Good to be here. Kick starting another whole new, brand new league with a brand new set of rules and points system and a lot of new ingredients there, Yash. So why don't you walk us through that? I mean, I'm super intrigued about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just lost your voice there.
Yep. So I was basically talking about the new very brand new league with a whole new set of rules and where points are being awarded for a lot of different sessions and there are a lot of stakes for all the drivers involved. So why not you talk us through it?
Yeah, so to give you a gist about this, this is the second division in this league. As probably nobody knows that the first division is the realistic performance. This is the equal performance division where we don't have a full grid tonight, but basically, like you said, yes, points are awarded for qualifying here, and we from the second race onwards will have a reverse grid format, which will be in accordance to the championship standings. So there's a lot of incentive to qualify right on top with added challenge of the faster drivers in qualifying to have to make it through the field. So it's not only going to be Fernando Alonso telling Lewis Hamilton that you only know how to lead from the front, but it is going to be someone who's going to have to come right from the back if they want to clinch this championship.
Yep, indeed. And as there are a few drivers who are already out on track, namely the Williams, and I see an AlphaTauri as well. That's probably Shrikant Das would be the first driver to put on a lap here. So I think he's just crossed the start finish straight now, approaching turn one. Do you want to take us through the rest of the lap, Yash?
You can carry on that.
All right. Now probably getting an exit out of turn. Now approaching turn four, a low traction zone yet again. DRS wide open for Shrikant Das as now he approaches a heavy braking zone. He needs to straighten his car to get the best exit possible. Now up into the middle sector, another tricky, very low traction zone. You can see drivers taking different kinds of lines here, but he's rather being fairly careful on the throttle on this tricky corner as he now approaches the end of the middle sector. And another tricky double right-hander. You really need to line up your exit so that you get a good run down the final set of corners as now he approaches the last final heavy braking zone here. Just a tap of the brakes here and needs to line up and get a brilliant exit there. A bit tentative on the throttle there. He doesn't want to invalidate his first life as now he goes flat out through the start finish straight and sets in a 1:18.8. So decent banker from him there. Certainly, there'll be a lot of improvement on this time as the track evolves and there's more grip for all the drivers to find there as Red Bull is
I
going
think the
slow. I think there's
PSI,
a
he's
there's a
invalidated his
Ferrari.
lap, but let's see who else is on the lap.
Yeah, probably a slow or dull. The lot of drivers choosing to take their time before coming out of the pits. So not sure. Ooh, PSI legend was that fairly close to the pits. But uh, yep, I just see two or three or two drivers there on the track as Shadow Swords probably has made a mistake somewhere. So he was the spinning Red Bull on the hot lap, but let's see if he can stitch this one together. He's got a car ahead of him, the slow moving Alfa Romeo, which hopefully would be out of the way on this straight. Yes, he doesn't, but I'm not sure if Shadow has that battery to amount of battery to contend with for the rest of the lap.
And if you remember,
Let's
Gaurav, that
hope.
in the last game the battery used to run out in the last part of the track.
Yep, it did, and that's the demand for ERS here on this track, especially on the start finish straight. And he's already close to 10% on the battery, so he can probably put in a time on board, but that might not be truly reflective of the pace he might have, as the game gives us a purple middle sector. I'm not very sure if that's a game glitch or a very actual middle sector, but we'll soon find out as he goes. His red light is definitely flashing right there. Does he dash back into the pits? No, he still wants to set in a time. What kind of time is that?
He still goes fastest. That is
1:85.
quite an
Yep,
impressive time.
it's a provisional pole for him, despite the lack of battery, as Wicked Vicky is also starting the lap. So
Going on board
necessity
with
just forces.
Jishnu right now, who seems to be on a flyer. He looks good to be challenging Shadow Sword's time right now. He's set a purple sector one, but I'm not sure how good a sector two was.
Yep. Meanwhile, Yash, do you want to switch on the telemetry for at least the qualifying session?
Sure.
Maybe we'll just have a look at how the viewers can also have a look at how the braking and the acceleration is. As Azun and PSI, welcome to the chat. Yes, yes, Azun, definitely a very dirty driver there. And I took you out the very next track as well in France, and I hope you enjoyed that lovely move I did on you around the outside. But nonetheless, we'll leave our banter right here and we'll keep coming back to it. As there's another time, Jishnu, sorry I missed you. He's put in a 119, right?
Yeah, and I
Captain
think
Sandhu with a 120.9.
Wicked Vicky, who's rounding off the last sector,
And he's just about to
and
cross
his
the
red light is
crossing
flashing as
now.
well. So I'm not
Oh,
sure why
Q2
drivers are not
Azun.
saving up their ERS as much. We have Quick Killer who's on a lap now, who also is out of ERS. He's not going to have enough ERS and he has invalidated his lap.
So are these drivers going
Now
on double
Chips has
laps?
also invalidated his
Yes,
lap.
I see. He's already done 2 laps on those tires, Quick Killer, so he should be getting back into the pits. As there's a Mercedes just crossing the line that has invalidated Spandan the gamer. Captain Sandhu, I believe he still is on a hot lap. He looking at the time he's showing, and I think that should be definitely be a major improvement on his time, which is and puts him right up to P3. As meanwhile, PSI Legend is also coming to cross the line. Let's see what kind of a time he puts in, as we pretty much are at the middle part of qualifying at the 119.3 from them. So, not sure if that was truly reflective, and now I'm also beginning to wonder if weather has a role to play here and people are going on a higher downforce setup, probably because it's a wet race, as there's a spinner of Captain Sandhu. taking a ride round the grassy grass and just
And Chips has
obliterating the
invalidated his
Vicious
lap
Company
yet
bro.
again.
Oh, just goes to show how treacherous this track can be for track limits. There are a lot of places on the track where you can really invalidate your time and rake up time penalties, while there are also patches on the track where
And
they don't let
Shrikant
you
goes
go ahead.
fastest.
Yep, he does. He does improve on his time, and probably just let me have a look at. Okay, that's eight thousandths of a difference between the front row. Yash,
Yeah,
pretty
that is
close
pretty
times, and
close. Yeah.
yeah, and less than a tenth between the top three. So keep an eye out on the others. There are a lot of drivers who
Yeah,
are not,
meanwhile,
who
VFix
haven't put
is
in the
just
time.
on his lap. He just come across the first sector. The game does show me it's a purple, but I don't believe that.
But then you're talking about VFix as well,
Yeah,
so
so yeah, sorry.
you
I'm
can
like,
expect him to. You'll expect his name to definitely be seen there up in the front rows and provisionally pole as well. But let's see, it is a purple middle sector as well. And if I remember the times that the other drivers were putting, they were at their in their 53s in the middle sector, while I just saw VFix with a total time of a 52.8 or something. So I think that's at least a 7 tenths faster. I'm betting from the current provisional pole time, or probably even more, as
yep,
it is almost
it's
six
it's it's
tenths
all
away.
half a six tenths away.
6 tenths clear is the gap that now VFix has
Meanwhile, Shadow
to
is also on
people.
a lap now.
Yep, and he is improving on his time. He's just up by almost a tenth there. So, and expect him to further
He
just
had a
get the
moment
bit
there.
squirrely there. Yep, and hopefully he has got that grip now, which the track has evolved on that and on those fresh set of tires. Needs to really line up this exit. It seems it feels to me that drivers are a bit tentative on that throttle on that exit, but I'm not very sure. But these drivers do know their
Oh, and
pace
he goes
as now
18-0.
almost by improving his time by half a second, as there's a Haas of Mosquito who has invalidated his lap. So he'll be going on another run, as VFix would be coming back to the pits, as pretty much a dry phase in qualifying. A few drivers now on their second out laps, as hopefully we'll see times to tumble down further. As just I'll also just take this moment to catch some of my breath. Oh, as Spandan the gamers, he just obliterate he disregards track limits like anything. Spandan, thankfully I'm not the one streaming, but you're not really allowed to do that. So please be mindful of what you do there. Your actions can be deemed actionable. But nonetheless, I'll just come back to you again, Yash. I'll just take a quick
Yep.
break.
Meanwhile, we're on board with Jishnu right now, who's up by about 3 tenths on his lap and coming to the last part of the circuit now. Car looks fairly stable around the corner, so he might be running a good chunk of downforce, maybe, or he's probably just taking it a little careful around. coming about top of the crest across the line, and Jishnu goes third fastest with an 18.5. He's still not in the territory of Shadow and VFix yet, who I don't think should be challenged, but let's see if anyone can provide some sort of surprises. Meanwhile, we have Sandhu rounding up the last corner, going up the crest, and across the line goes fourth fastest with an 18.3. Wow, that's 1,000 off PSI, and PSI I missed that lap as well. So the time stumbling a bit for the for the third place onwards drivers. I don't know if everyone else is going to improve or not, but let's see.
Alrighty, I'm back. There's an Aston Martin that's probably coming to cross the line.
No, that's just to going into the pits.
Oh, yeah. And there is THR Legends. Looks like he is. No, his light is flashing. So I have no battery there. Probably he's also going to dash back into the pit for one final run. Yes, he is, and I hope he has enough time to get back in, change his tires, and come back.
If you see Gaurav, it has become a little sunny now. So
Yep, I can see
probably.
clouds. Yep, it has become
Do
more
you think
sunny.
VFix is going to come out on another lap?
If he has to,
Oh, yeah,
then
there I just
yep,
said it.
right
He's
now he
there.
does. Just did it.
Yeah,
So the
GRL
pit is
Mosquito
going to
is
get.
retired. I think in the pits, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yep, and did. I'm not sure if Optimus and Deathstone managed to join this session yet. Folks, you just have another minute before you can do that. Hopefully, you are.
Maybe Gaurav, you can just invite them.
Let me invite in the middle. TTRL can come through.
Shadow taking it really slow through the last corner. It's quite weird what he was doing there.
Probably needing a gap to charge ahead or behind. I'm not sure. Okay, I have sent them the invite. Hopefully, they can join us.
On board with Shadow
But
right now,
nonetheless,
coming up the crest. Keeps it clean. Let's
let's
see what his
find.
first sector time is. He is little less than a
Yeah,
tenth
he's
up.
okay. Oh, yep. Oh,
Lighting up his rear tires there.
yep. But this does look
Oh,
like
and
a
he
decent
loses
lap.
his rear end. Wants to step out everywhere.
Oh, just
That
took
was
a bit
close to
wide
an
at the
extension
end.
there.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully he has not got a wreck.
Oh, he doesn't
Either on
improve.
the track or.
Meanwhile, VFix is on a red hot, scorching lap right now, Gaurav.
He
He
is
looks set to
indeed.
go
Look at
into
this,
the
half a second
lower
on his
117s
time.
here. So he's stamping his authority in the first qualifying session of this racing league. And he comes across the line in
Oh,
the
crossed the line in
17.373.
17. It's a brilliant time there. It's a
Meanwhile, PSI coming across the
Shadow
last
Squad.
second sector. He's half a second up as well. He's poised to take
No.
P2 away from Shadow here, unless he puts a scorching
Oh.
sector 3 to take it away from VFix.
Yep, but he just really needs to line his exit up.
And
Has
someone
probably
just
had
took the
bad
Pirelli board out
timing.
there.
And as PSI Legends crosses the line,
He goes to
gets
17.884.
P2!
Wow.
Gets P2. That's a brilliant time.
I
I
mean,
predicted
Captain
this will also
Sandhu,
be crossed the
he's going
line just
to.
ahead of him.
He's not going to improve. So I think that's about it.
On pretty much end of qualifying, yes, it is, as we have seen a lot of drivers not putting in time. So we just want to remind the drivers that there are points for qualifying as well here. So might as well be able to score a handful of points there.
Meanwhile,
And
I'm
yes,
not really
one
sure
more.
what Quick Killer is trying to do here. He's driving on the opposite side and he got disqualified from the session. I'm not sure that's going to go down well with the stewards.
Oh, quick killer, as we not having the best of forms there recently.
Yeah, but driving on the opposite side, I wouldn't really recommend doing that even if you're last on the grid.
Oh,
Meanwhile, like grid is VFix followed by PSI, Shadow, Wicked Wiki, Spandan, Captain Sandhu, Jishnu, Shrikant, GRL Mosquito, Pradeep, Ahif Chips, Abdul Samad, and Quick Killer. 14 driver grid formed right there, and I'm a little hazy on what the points format was, but I believe it was still P8 with
yep,
P1
it
taking
was.
in 12 points.
Yep, it was. It
So
was
that's 12
just
points in the
sitting
back for
on points
VFix and about 8 points back in the back for PSI.
already. So a lot of points there. A good,
Yeah,
healthy
and
start
and
for
and
them.
Gaurav,
Might
you
be
and I
able to
both
snap
know
one.
very well that 12 points can very easily decide a championship. 1 point decides championship. So 12 is a big margin.
Yep, that's the value of pole position right there. So race victory has its value, and so does pole position now in this league. And since stakes are much higher here, so that's every point to fight for all these drivers.
That is true. What are your
Yep.
predictions for the race, Gaurav?
I'm gonna wait. Let me see the grid, and then I'm going to give you the predictions. But it looks a bit cloudy here, Yash. And
It
are we
does.
to see some rain towards the end of the race or middle of the race? And just looking forward to it. And probably is that the reason why a lot of drivers didn't put in time? But don't worry,
Maybe. I
we'll
mean,
find out.
but I mean, no, experiencing certain drivers like Ahif, who really does like starting right back on the grid and coming up the field. But then the likes of Chips not really having a good time out there, and as we saw, Quick purposefully trying to disqualify himself. But yeah, um, there does seem to be a little bit of rain on the horizon because I mean Portimao is one of those places in the. If I'm not wrong with my geography, it's in the southern part of France. Sorry, Portugal. My bad. Southern part of
Oh,
Portugal.
you're
Uh,
obviously.
and next to the beautiful town of Algarve, where also the MotoGP race happens. So it'll be quite
That's
interesting
going to be.
seeing what the weather plays for us tonight. Meanwhile,
Yep.
AWS powering the predicted pit stop strategy for me with a one stopper of medium to hards and a two stopper of soft medium hards, which is I don't think would be the recommended tire choice unless there's a safety car. But what do you think, Gaurav?
But there are two drivers on the softs, and those are the Red Bull drivers of Shadow Squad and URL Pradeep. So they are going on an aggressive strategy, right for right putting their whole foot forward and going, trying to take that lead up into run down to turn one. So, but let's see what happens there. As Shadow
Do you
is
think they
also
are coming
able to
in?
get the straight stick.
Sorry.
Do I think that? Do I think?
Do you think that the Red Bulls are probably having a mentality like the real life Red Bulls, where they know that no matter what they do, they're going to come ahead in front?
Yeah, but it's still not realistic performance there, so that's a reminder for these drivers. There are
I mean,
positions
let's
in
be
which
fair.
they
The form which
but
Max Verstappen had along with that Red Bull, you put it on equal performance and he would still win it.
yeah, but hopefully let's see what kind if we have the max level racing here that we can see the likes of Shadow Sword and URL
Oh,
coming
and
in
I
there.
just
There's a
saw one
bit of a
Red
fight
Bull
for
disappear into midair there.
yeah, we have the Alfa Romeo Wicked Vicky is disqualified and the last four are on a set of hard tires, so going conservative right there, want to stay away. Oh, I see a spinner of,
That is
I think
PSI.
that was the Mercedes of
Oh, there's
probably
also an Alpha
PSI.
Tauri who's been spinning around. Oh, that's not going to do Spandar any good because he went into the gravel and he's
And
overtaking
he
under
is on the
formation lap.
grass. But that is pretty much coming to the end of the grid, so not a lot of harm done. But
And
there's
he
a
got
Ferrari that
disqualified.
has just spun itself. Ferrari is just perpendicular to the starts grid, finally managing.
Meanwhile,
That
Gaurav,
was quick
let's.
killer, I think.
I got a good view finally. Thank you, Codys.
Yep. As
And
hopefully,
we have.
are you taking us
Yep.
take us through the race start? Why not? Yep. And Shadow Spot has left the
One
race
light,
with
two light,
no
three lights,
position.
four lights, five lights, and we are lights out, and away we go. Looks like a decent start from PSI and VFix, followed by everyone behind. Going into turn one, it seems to be fairly clean around here. Yep, doesn't seem
Oh,
like
and there
the.
is contact between the Alfa Romeo. There was an Alfa Romeo and another car involved. I did see a bit of contact there, probably the ghosted car of Red Bull, causing a lot of problems for the drivers. As thankfully, Shadow Sword has joined the session back. As cars behind are too wide, going a lot of cars. Those are the Mosquito, Srikandas, Wicked Vicky, all involved in a battle as Chip Schema and Quick Killer going side by side through the sticky right-hander, low traction zone. Who gets the better grip on those tires? It is Quick Killer who has pulled up a lot of positions on those hard tires as Spandan the Gamer and Jishnu are also very close to each other and a lot of positions changes are happening behind. Wicked Vicky has probably had a moment yet again. So thankfully these drivers have navigated the first lap fairly thoroughly. We hopefully no we won't see anybody barging into the pits as but VFix has pulled a two almost a 2 second gap coming to the end of the first lap. So that is really a good show of pace from him and he'd really look to build on it as PSI legends and Captain Sandhu.
And Shrikant going down the
Uh,
inside of Chip's schema there. He gets the move done going into turn one. So the Williams is on a move there. Meanwhile, Quick Killer, the biggest beneficial driver over here, who's gained 8 positions from the start of the race on those hard tires. But he is not being able to get away from Shrikant right now, who is on the mediums, will be chasing him down.
Yep, that's a battle to look out for, and Chip Schema would want to just hang along with them and see as much as he could be pulled because he might just come under threat from the likes of Wicked Vicky and GRL Mosquito from behind. A Shadow Sword is now probably in control of his car. Would have to rush his way up the field now and make the most of those soft tires. A Shadow Sword has had a major moment and oh, in the eager of getting those positions, just has got himself there. But it's a long race to go. Can still keep his head down, and anything can
Chips
happen there.
seems to be a little bit in the stuck in the dirty air of Shrikant because he was losing time, and you can see GRL Mosquito right on the back of him now. It's sort of a DRS
Yep,
train
it
forming
is.
behind Quick Killer right now, right up to Wicked
Yep,
Vicky.
it is. It is indeed. And let's see if Pradeep can also join that
Oh, Quick
same
Killer had a
line.
moment there, so Shrikant's eyes will light up, And he has DRS on
Exactly.
quick.
Right.
Oh, and he come. Oh, that was a late move, but wow. Quick killer goes,
Down on the inside goes
tries.
Srikandas and getting that advantage on those mediums, but Quick Killer wants to come back. Has got a brilliant exit, straight line
Oh, and
restart.
Shrikant goes
Will
wide
oh
and quick on the inside. Chips looking to make a move on Shrikant as well. Unfortunately, couldn't really stick it around the outside there. Quick
but a
got the position
brilliant
back.
dummy right there by Quick Killer and which just threw Shrikant Das off a bit as Wicked Vicky and Mosquito are going side by side and Wicked Vicky makes the move on that harsh driver. So a big train definitely forming right behind Quick Killer. So keep an eye out as
Meanwhile,
well.
Captain
And
Sandhu
will
has spun around.
Captain Sandhu, yup, he has definitely lost his car right there. So booked up tires for
Spandan
Captain
right
Sandhu
on the
as
back
well.
of Jishnu now with DRS. He should be making this move. Jishnu goes to the inside to defend, but this should be a clean move altogether. Captain Sandhu is the I think the reason why there's a yellow flag in sector 3 right now.
And Shrikant Das as well makes the move on Quick Killer. So now a new leader of the DRS train as the Alpine of Chip Schema also was super eager
Oh,
to
and
take
Quick
it
has
forward.
lost his car and he's
He lost his
DNF.
car. Correct. He has retired from the
Will
testing of
that
the
be a
safety
safety
car.
car? That is a safety
Yes,
car.
it is. Oh, good news. Everything's not lost for Shadow Squad
And
right there. So everything
and
is back
and
again.
and as you remember, you always know. I mean, you always remember your first. This is the first safety car of the Hybrid Theory Racing League. Despite having a realistic performance race in Monaco, this is the first safety car.
Yep, we'll have to probably cut some slack for Monaco there as
Yeah, Gaurav,
Monaco
I
has
think
raced
you're
Monaco
not
once
very
there.
audible, so if you could just increase your mic input a bit.
Okay, let me just let me.
Thank you, Redstone Dub, for letting us know.
Okay, hopefully things should be better now. I have pretty much increased the
Yeah,
volume.
it's definitely louder for me, so I'm sure it's gonna be louder for everyone now. Meanwhile, this is a good opportunity for both the Red Bulls to pit, and they do double stack. But of course, not losing time. Both go on to the hards. No, URL
Yep,
Pradeep goes on to another set of softs. That's quite strange. Meanwhile, Shadow goes on to a set of hards. We have Captain
yep.
Sandhu in the pits, who's going on to a set of softs as well. Wow.
And
Is there rain
URL
coming,
Pradeep probably has a
Gaurav? Because I mean, I don't understand why you would go onto the softs otherwise.
probably going rather aggressive and hoping for another safety car and then go on a hard because it was fairly a bit cloudy when the race started and I see the sun shining bright as we speak.
That
But
is
there
true.
still are 25 odd laps to go. Green flag racing, provided we have no more safety cars. But VFX's 5 second lead has all gone away, and everything is fairly neutralized now, as PSI Legends and Spandar, the gamer, would also be back at them, and so would be the rest of the
There is a
drivers.
weird
But
gap being created by the Mercedes, if I'm not wrong, behind the Alpha Tauri. I think he's caught up now. Meanwhile, we have the two Red Bulls and the Ferrari, who are arguably, in realistic performance, at least the better cars of the division. But the two Red Bulls will definitely be looking to make up a lot of places along with Captain Sandhu. Going through the position changes, Gaurav, I can see that Spandan has made up 2 places, Jishnu 3, Shrikant has made up 3, Wicket lost 2. Chips right now being the most yeah, Chips right now being the driver has taken up the most positions with 5. It was Quick Killer before, I think, until he crashed out. With GRL Mosquito taking up 1 position, Ahif 2, Abdul Samad 3. Shadow unfortunately, because he disconnected, has lost 8, along with Captain Sandhu, who lost 6. And URL Pradeep was back into the pits to probably serve his penalty, and he's out on the mediums now. So I think that soft tire was just so that he could go to the pits again.
Yep, and
But Gaurav,
definitely if
if
he
you look
gets
at
that
certain
penalty out
parts
of
of
the
the
way.
track, like they are right now, it's starting to get darker in the sky. But it is also
Yep.
sunny, so I'm a little confused what's really happening in Portugal right now.
Let's assume it's just dry right now. Dry seem to be the fastest compound for now. Let's go
Okay,
dry
Mark,
towards
you don't
them
need to tell me
now.
that. Oh, and we have
Right.
Shrikant going off the track.
Oh,
That
what's
was a little
happening
weird.
there? And he just lost a position there to wicket Vicky, did he? Or was he right
No,
behind that?
he
Oh, the drivers are going fairly pretty close to each other. Oh.
the safety car is in
Safety
this
car
lap. Oh, that's
is
a
in this
very
lap.
very late call.
And the Mercedes of Spandan. Oh, I thought it was fairly went pretty wide,
Going
but
on board with
let's
PSI
see.
now.
Let's see. And VFix, when does he decide to go? He's
Spandan
going to
right at
take
the
it to
back.
the
Oh, and
end.
they've touched.
Oh, and this contact. I could feel contact there, right there. So, oh, that was very sketchy. I don't know what happened between those drivers, but hopefully they haven't lost position, but which has allowed VFix to get away there. And oh, there is a very glitchy car off Wicket Vicky right there. I hope the drivers are not feeling the same glitch as I am. At least in my views, hopefully it's fairly clean in the stream as well as there is pretty much a pile up behind. The Mercedes is getting challenged. Wheel to wheel go the Aston Martin of Ahif and Abdul Samad. Abdul Samad probably lost a bit of positions there and is further losing a lot of positions. Is down the inside of Abdul Samad goes Captain Sandhu. On what's happening up front, Spandan Gadeema really putting a lot of charge on on PSI Legends at the moment as so is Shrikant Das close to Jishnu as Vicky is I don't know is glitching on my screen or is it just
Yeah, he is. He is glitching.
oh that might just not be the best of news for all the other drivers but
Meanwhile,
hopefully they can
Srikanth
keep
on the
their
back
head.
of Jishnu right now, and he'll be looking to go down the inside. It is an ERS
Jishnu
Dumbfest.
meanwhile fighting back and I think Jishnu has got that superior straight line speed which helps him keep
Oh,
that
and
position now with the
I think Wicked Vicky ran into the back of Jishnu, and we have a Ferrari
and
of
a
Captain
spinner
Sandhu
of
spun
Captain
again.
Sandhu. Whoa, not the best of outcomes there for him as Wicket Vicky and Chips
Yeah,
Kumar.
the wow, his car is absolutely all over the place right now.
So that's just going to be very difficult for all the drivers to negotiate as well as Wicket Vicky runs very wide and comes back aggressively
No,
onto the lines. I don't
I
know if
think
he
he's
has
just, yeah,
contact.
no, no, I think his car is just glitched at the moment.
Oh, yeah, yep. I see drivers just trying to go past him there. So,
Yeah, his car is
that's.
definitely glitched.
I
Meanwhile,
think
Spandan
the lag is just catching.
not giving up on the back of, and there's a sector one yellow flag is probably
I don't know why.
for some sort of wild animal who's probably there.
Oh, that's a no. I think that is a repeat of what happened to Captain Sandhu. So those yellow flags are coming back again. I don't know why this lag, but safety car or not, it doesn't matter for V6 because he has pulled up a 2.5 second gap yet again while Spandan is hot on PSI Legends.
Yep, he's turning on the heat with that W13 there, but he's lost a bit of time there going into the second sector.
Yep, as there are a lot of interesting battles right behind as well between Chips, GRL, Mosquito, and Ahif. As
And
down
GRL,
on the inside goes Shadow Sword, outbreaks himself, Ahif aware of him incoming and just switches back on him, and that's lovely presence of mind and a good attempt from Shadow Sword there. He knows he's got the pace, but he really needs to be mindful of when he wants to pick his battles as well. There's Spandan now gets a 3 second time penalty, so the first of the track extension penalties for this driver awarded right there, as there is a fair chain forming right behind, as well as Wicked Vicky is now pulled off from Chip's team. So I don't know if him caught off guard has just, you know, made him lose a bit of ground. And Wicked Vicky is also hot on Shrikant Das as we speak right now, but Shrikant Das also getting a DRS assist out from Jishnu up ahead, who still hold on to this position as uh, I mean, we'll have to. He might just have gotten a track extension warning there. Just no, and Wicked Vicky just goes inside through Shrikant Das and makes that move. Was it? So I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I'm
what's
not sure
happening
what is
there.
happening with Wicket Wiki. We can't really commentate on that because for a moment I saw Shrikant through him and then he was again 5 tenths ahead of him. So I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yep, truly, even I have no clue there. I think that's as Abdul Samad and Captain Sandhu are also involved in a battle for P11 there, as there's a spinner of Shadow Sword. Oh, he loses that position yet again, so that corner is proving very treacherous for him. Hopefully, he doesn't have any kind of wing damage. So
Meanwhile,
I
live on
think
the
he
back
did
of
slip as
GRL
well.
Mosquito, who I don't think has the DRS from Chips right now. So he'll probably be on the
Yep.
offensive.
And so does Pandan. He also makes a move down and to
Oh,
turn
and
one.
PSI goes into
Almost a
him.
let's oh yeah, he taps the back of Spandan, but respectful of him. But I think Spandan got an illegal overtake warning, I think, and both of them yielding those positions as PSI Legends has now made the move, but this
Meanwhile, we
invites
have
Vishnu
the
into the whole
other Red Bull
proceeding.
of Ural Pradeep. So the Red Bull definitely not having it this race. Meanwhile, Abdul
Yep,
Samad
you
drops
need to go
another
back
place.
up between P2, P3 and P4 because that is a pretty
No, we'll do
interesting battle
you.
as PSI Legends still holds on
And
to that
Jishnu
lead.
goes it
Now
down the
Jishnu
inside
on
of
the inside
Spandan.
of Spandan. Oh, PSI Legends has a bit of a moment coming down through that exit, but Spandan holding position to Jishnu right there. But now he'll get the DRS and would be eager to make that move as Jishnu is pretty hot
I could see
and
Spandan
wants to
sliding
land his
around
end.
there.
Yep, he is. He is. But as these three come together and make that four cars, including the lagged car of Wicked Vicky, can Spandan make a move down into turn one? No, nothing doing as all these drivers follow suit. But Captain Sandhu has made a move on GRL Mosquito there. But coming back to the battle up front, no moves coming incoming for any of these drivers right now. Still following that the train, and this train is just getting longer with the drivers being able to catch up right there as Mosquito and Abdul Samad have come together as Shrikant Das has spun himself around.
That's a shame. Meanwhile, VFX has just checked out from Portimao. He's probably on his way to Spain right now.
Yep, he is. He knows he's finding the rhythm in his car and he knows when to upshift and downshift, which will lead him to the borders of Portugal and Spain, and probably he would just enjoy his time in the beaches of Spain because it seems to be really very sunny.
Yep, definitely.
Wow, as Jishnu, Wicked Wiki, Spandan the Gamer, and PSI Legends at it again, but
The
still
gap was a
holding.
little more than what it was in the last couple of laps this time around. Meanwhile, Ahif closing in on chips right now, and Abdul Samad on the back of THTRL Mosquito as well.
Now, as Shrikant Das, another receiver of those penalties, and so is Wicked Wiki, I believe. But Abdul Samad takes a peek down the inside of GRL Mosquito, but nothing doing. But GRL Mosquito has had a major moment coming out of that corner, and that just gives the position to the McLaren driver.
Meanwhile,
As
Spandan
now
again
we
closing
see
up.
the pit. Yep, and there is a battle for P2 that's interestingly going on, and another battle for P6, I believe.
Oh,
And
and PSI has spun
oh,
around. Oh no, that was Spandan probably just got. His eyes would have lit up now, and so would have Jishnu's for that matter, because Jishnu not running with any penalties here. Meanwhile, Spandan on the far inside of the track trying to break the slipstream there.
yep, and Jishnu has his red light flashing as well, so not a lot of battery to contend with for him. As Ahif Abdul Samad and PSI Legends is now in the pit, so going for a tire change right there. He's had enough of those mediums. They would be cooked up as well. As Jishnu is at the back of Spandan, but no move really coming right there. Ahif is also hot on chip schema right now, and so is Captain Sandhu, who is even closer to Ahif than he is to chips. But he is also probably not having a lot of battery to contend with, pretty much playing on the borders of 10%. Meanwhile, Aditesh, if you're watching the stream, if you haven't been able to race, why don't you join us for some commentary? Or still, you'll have to join your
Why don't you add him to
session for
the
that.
party?
Okay, let me give him.
Meanwhile, VFix putting in the hammer right now on those used set of mediums. Wicked Wiki into the pit
Oh,
now.
he's already a part of the car.
I think it's that time for the medium drivers where they would start wanting to go into the pit now to box for their hard tires. Meanwhile, Jishnu gets past Spandan. Spandan would want to come right back at him on this DRS zone right now. Is wheel to wheel and it is fairly easy. Oh, Spandan and he. Oh, and Jishnu just gets better drive out of that corner to pull away from the Mercedes.
Alrighty, and Captain Sandhu has done 10 laps on those medium soft tires. Yash, so
Yep.
and he's still holding back to those hard runners. They must be having. I mean, those tires would just be bleeding right now, bleeding red as their color is
I
as
mean,
well. I don't know
you
when they
can
plan
see
to
the
die.
tire that the blisters forming on the tire there. If you could see, it's like one
Yep,
side of
and
the
I could
tire has
see.
tanned out.
Yep, I could see a wobbly. I mean, a very unstable left front there for Captain Sandhu. But I don't know. Those are just my eyes or what. But Spandan is Jishnu has made the move. Had made the move on Spandan. Oh, I missed that. And now Spandan would be wanting to come back at him. Let's see what how this battle unfolds as there's an interesting battle for P4 that's going on between Chips IF and Captain Sandhu. And
Meanwhile, Sandhu right at the back
otherwise,
of Ahif.
yep, he is. Just gets brilliant drives in the middle sector, but now he's not able to. Now, since Ahif also getting a DRS, but he is pretty much on the borderline of that DRS window, and he is trying to close in. He has fallen back now. It's all about what happens at the detection line, but
Meanwhile,
of course,
there's
a yellow
a
flag.
that's a Red Bull, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Red Bull. But coming back to this battle, does Ahif have the DRS on chips? No, he doesn't. This would definitely invite Captain Sandhu. No, he does have the DRS. So Captain Sandhu might still have to wait, as probably Chip Schema and Ahif, I'm guessing, would be in the same party stat, and they would be coordinating this pretty well there. But Sandhu, I have my eyes open for him because he's just able to pull that pace out on those tires and keep up with them. So I just wonder how his hard tire or next tire stint is going to be. Like
Oh,
that,
and he
he
had a
has
moment
my
there.
major moment. Yep, major moment. So that is pretty much the time for the softs, or the time to get rid of those softs rather. As now he has also fallen away from the DRS of Ahif. And the field has also pretty much spaced out now. VFix in a lead of his own. Vishnu right behind him. Hot behind him is Pandan as
VFX
VFix
coming
now
into the pits
decides to
now.
box.
Does Jishnu come into the pits? Yes, he does. Followed by Spandan right behind him. And Jishnu gets a 5-second penalty. Oh, that's not gonna do him any favors. He was running without penalty so far.
5 seconds will hurt a lot of Jishnu's cause, and hopefully he can still hope that other drivers probably get penalties behind us. Yeah, Captain Sandhu rightfully decides to box as well.
Meanwhile, Chits takes the lead of the race momentarily, while everyone on the medium tires was boxing. Spandan gets another 3-second penalty. That's not going to do him any favors either. Meanwhile, Spandan has Wicked Vicky who's come in between him and Jishnu, so he's not going to like that also.
Now this battle, two-way battle, has rather come alive now. I think with Wicked Will Vicky involved in those proceedings, so that undercut helping him a lot, right? Boxing a bit
Yep.
early on for those set of hards, and now he's made up a lot of time and will have good warmed up tires as well, as he is lining Jishnu up and would be able to get him at this exit. Down they go through the start finish straight. Wicked Vicky pulls down on the inside and makes that move, but has his battery flashing indeed. So he now just needs to pull away, as Srikanth Das has done 18 laps on those medium tires. So that's pretty
Oh, and
much.
Wicked Vicky has a moment. Oh no, that's just his lag, I think. Meanwhile, VFix is on the back of Abdul Samad. That should be fairly easy for him. Meanwhile, Sector 2 yellow flags. That is Shrikant who spun around.
All right, Yash, this is the time where probably in a couple of minutes I might have to take your leave, because and PSI Legends has been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. Oh
Oh, then
no, that's
that's not
he
ideal
probably
at
had a
all.
spin, probably had a spin, and the game doing its things as. the hard runners of IF and Chips have decided to box and they've come out fairly together, so they want to keep their train alive and tag each other along as they. How close are they to the leaders? There is the question, and Chips is just 3 seconds behind. Not sure what kind of a gap they had earlier, but now they'll be on a fresh set of mediums looking to charge their way up the field as Abdul Samad, not having boxed, is right behind VFix there, who probably might just, with the way things have gone, he might just have done that Grand Slam, is it?
Yep, does look like that. No, sorry, he doesn't do the Grand Slam because Chips was leading the lap, leading the race for a bit.
Oh, yeah, the hard runners were leading the race. Yes, yes, you're right. As now this battle for P4 would rather is currently between three drivers, but it might just soon become a battle between five drivers as Chips and Ahif would, and so would Captain Sandhu behind them look on come to join this battle because he is getting a
Oh, and
good
he
drive
is
on those
spun,
hard. Oh,
Sandhu. Oh, that's not gonna be
uh,
helpful.
oops. My apologies for the language viewers, but that's the worst time of a commentator's curse right there. I'm so sorry, Captain Sandhu, but that is a VSC. Oh, that's called for a
That's a
safety
safety
car.
car.
And he gets a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Captain Sandhu is
Has
just
this
having a
worked
perfect.
absolutely wonders for Abdul Samad? Meanwhile, Chips Teema gets a drive-through penalty.
Whoa, that's not going to
Oh, that's gonna
help
really,
this.
really affect him.
Well. Abdul Samad with a faster pit stop this time around, and he has a 15-second gap to P4. So he might just be able to jump up a position.
Yeah, but then Shadow's also in the pits behind him. So, will Jishnu carry on? Yes, he does. So he's probably not gonna jump. Yeah, Abdul Samad
Shadow
does
and
lose a
Abdul
couple of.
Samad are right in the mix now. Yash, they are right in the mix of the game as. Oh, okay. One of them just went. Oh, there are two drivers fairly pretty close and just. Oh, that was a chase with a Ferrari there. I think that was a Ferrari, was it? Or was it the McLaren? No, Abdul Samad right behind the McLaren, the Aston Martin of Ahif there. As now is the time where Yash, I'm going to bounce, and I hope you'll take our viewers through the rest of the stream. I've given 2/3 of the race is done. It's just 1/3 for you to go.
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes me feel very nice, Gaurav. Thank you.
Adios. Let's hope we have a good race later on. Yeah,
Yes.
rest of it.
See you.
Bye bye.
So now it's a bit of a lonely feel in this comments box, commentary box now. I don't really know who's viewing our race right now. If y'all could just say hi, because I'll probably be much better in responding to y'all right now because of how Gaurav has left me quite lonely here. Um, Quickly going across the grid, we have VFX, Jishnu, Spandan, Wicked, Chips, Ahif, Abdul Samad, Mosquito, Shadow, Srikanth, Pradeep, and Captain Sandhu. And yeah, so we have Arif and Abdul Samad who are without penalties right now, along with VFix. And I'm not sure if Captain Sandhu has any penalties or not. But safety car should probably be in this lap, will it? No, I don't think so. Sorry, Sandhu is quite far behind right now. VFix gonna have to do all the hard work all over again, getting that lead back. But I don't think that should be a monumental task for him, as he's shown right from the word go when he came out of his pits in qualifying that he's here to win the championship, and he did set a mark in qualifying as well, getting pole by around 5 tenths, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and I'm not sure if that was just I'm not sure the Mylander just brake testing we fixed there, but just making sure that the Alfa Romeo driver knows that his brakes are working fine. Meanwhile, the safety car light is still blinking, so it's not going to be in this lap. Wicked Vicky and Chips. I'm not sure why there was a small change of position there. Chips would be probably hoping for one more save. What just happened there? Oh, I think that's just Wicked Vicky's car really glitching. Yeah, I think his car has really slowed down everyone there. That's really unfortunate, his internet connection there. But anyway, Wicked Vicky drops right to the back of the grid. That's weird. Sandhu, who's just about getting to the cars now, and safety car should be in this lap, so probably go on board with Wicked Vicky falling too far back. Oh no, that's not the right way to do things. But anyway, the safety car should be comfortably in this lap. Let's see if it's a late call or it's a relatively early call this time around. Meanwhile, VFix would be wanting to. There it is, the safety car's in, and he is going to back up the field now. Probably wants to generate as much heat he can in those tires there, and he was slowing down quite a bit there. But anyway, um, Chips would want to be diving into the pits on the next lap so that he can get his drive through out of the way. Meanwhile, let's see where VFix goes. The safety car should be in, and yep, he's gone. VFix has gone. It is still a yellow flag. For some reason, it's not really gone green yet. So any and all overtakes happening are probably going to cause some sort of penalties around. Shadow really trying to make up some places there. And it's a tussle of cars along there. Yep, the game hasn't gone green flagged yet, and that is causing a lot of shadows making up places but getting 5 seconds every time. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. Spandan on the back of Jishnu, and oh, he gets pushed out a little too wide there for his liking. Ahif gets past Shadow Sword there, missed that one. Meanwhile, we have GRL Mosquito who's left the session. I don't really know why that has happened, but yeah. Meanwhile, Shadow Sword getting on Abdul Samad and Aif on the inside of Abdul Samad there. Oh, and they touch. Oh, they tap again. Chip serves his drive-through penalty there. VFix meanwhile has just gone off to the far distance again. Meanwhile, Spandan is really on the back of Jishtu, hounding him through the sector 3 right now. And we have a Ferrari of Captain Sandhu who's spun yet again. I've get a 3-second penalty now. DRS is enabled, so that will probably be helping hand for Spandan, who's in charge of Jishnu right now, really trying to close him down. Definitely making the inroads there. Meanwhile, we have Ahif who's on the back of Abdul Samad as well, and Wicked Vicky who's just come out of the pits in front of Chips, and that is close from them. Wicked Vicky gets a 3-second penalty now. VFix setting fastest lap times over fastest lap times now. And Spandan really closing up to Jishnu here. Aif also on the back of Abdul Samad. He's not finding a way to go through right now. Meanwhile, let's look at the penalty situation where we have Shadow who's on 13 seconds of penalties, but I think that should be removed. Then we have Jishnu on 5, Spandan on 6, Abdul Samad looks poised to be taking P2 here if I'm not wrong, or P3 rather. Meanwhile, I think that is a yellow flag for Wicked Vicky who has retired from the session. And we have Aif who spun around. So he's going to be losing quite a few places there. Not the ideal way for Aif to be closing in on this race. He lets Abdul Samad lose there. Jishnu who's lost the position to Spandan now, who should be getting DRS behind the Merc, and he does get there, but he is closing down awfully fast. There's some serious straight line speed there. Shadow slowly but steadily creeping to the back of Spandan now. Meanwhile, that's actually the closest battle we have on track. Going on board with VFix. He seems really calm and collected. If there was no safety car, he would have probably built a 30-second gap right now to the others. Spandan right at the back of Jishnu. Oh, and he couldn't make it outside of turn 1 there. Meanwhile, you have Shadow right at the back of this now in the DRS zone of Spandan. Oh, and he has a moment coming out of that corner, so he's going to lose a lot of time there. Yep. Look how close Pandan is to the back of that Aston Martin, and he gets a good drive. They are going side by side through the section. Jishnu gives him a little bit of a push. And space maintained between the two drivers, while Shadow really looks like he wants to capitalize on this. And there's a yellow flag for the Red Bull of URL Pradeep at the back. Oh, and Shadow will want to be making a move on Jishnu. Jishnu will be wanting to make a move right back at him now, but he seems to have lost some ground to Shadow, who on his mediums is flying now. And Chips gets another penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's not going to be ideal for him either. Shrikant and I are going at it right now. Oh, these cars are very close to each other. Yep, and Jishnu has run out of ERS there, so that's not going to help him at all. Spandan will want to be making the move on Jishnu pretty soon. Shrikant gets another 3-second penalty here. Jishnu on the back of Shadow right now on VFX pumping in yet another fastest lap. Spandan has fallen a little far back, so I don't think there's any move we are going to see on this particular lap at least. Oh, and Jishnu has a big moment riding that curb. Abdul Samad is going to be right on his tail now. Spandan gets through from Jishnu. He won't have DRS on this lap, but can he chase Shadow down to get into DRS? Yep, Shadow has checked out from Spandan, so I don't think there he's going to have too much problem. But Jishnu, meanwhile, will be looking to get back at Spandan at least. Abdul Samad just right at the back without any penalties here. All set to take P2 by the looks of it. We fix with yet another faster lap. So he's gunning it here. Meanwhile, he's actually finished this race. Then the second race in a row where I don't cover him finishing the race because he's just been too fast for us. Meanwhile, Abdul Samad who climbs to P2, Jishnu goes down to P3, I think, yeah, and Spandan P4, Ahif P5, Shadow P6, Shrikant P7, and we'll probably have Sandhu who's going to come home in P8, followed by Pradeep, Chips, and GRL Mosquitoes Ghosted Car. So, wow, that was one hell of a race for everyone except VFix, who was in a league of his own, if I may say. Let's just quickly invite them to this lobby while everyone is on their cooldown laps. We have Abdul who's joined the party, and yet we wait for VFix and Jishnu. Abdul, am I audible to you? So I have Jishnu, and I'm waiting for VFix to join here. Meanwhile, as we wait on for our race winner, let's go with Jishnu. Jishnu, you had a big moment there in the cup last few laps where you went over the curb and it really put you off. Were you set for a? Were you thinking that this was going to be an easy P2, or did you think that Spandan is going to come chasing you down right till the end?
No, I was not worried about Spandan. He was fine. But Shadow, I think he was glitching. There was some glitch in middle of the game, so I was just worried. Like, I don't want to hit him, so I was just being cautious. But I just lost concentration, so I had a huge moment. But anyway, Spandan had 3 or 4 more seconds more penalties than me, so I was fine. But yeah, Abdul was behind, so I couldn't make the gap to Abdul.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a pretty straightforward race for you where you were fighting only that Mercedes all throughout, if I'm not wrong. I mean, you did have a couple of other battles, but it was primarily Spandan who y'all both. I mean, y'all both switched positions here and there, but I mean, I haven't raced around Portimao yet on this game. How did it feel, and how did it feel from the previous game? Was it easy? Because there were a lot of track extension penalties, which almost everyone had, except Abdul and VFix being the only two who didn't, I think.
And myself.
So, oh, you didn't. Oh, my bad. So I'm not sure what dropped you down then. Was it a 5 second speeding penalty?
Yeah, speeding penalty. I
Oh,
was
that's unfortunate. But yeah,
yeah.
how was the track? How were you? How confident were you with your car around here?
Track was good. I feel I just lacked race pace and quali pace. I couldn't um, get higher the positions, and race pace I was lacking a bit. Um, but it was enough to fight with Spandan, and yeah, we had a clean race throughout. I saw him getting a lot of track penalties, so I just eased out a bit at the end. But then Shadow was streaming through.
Yeah, that's true. So either way, good result for you, a P3 to kick things off. A good drive in the end, and hopefully next week you can make up some more positions as well.
Yep,
Uh,
thanks much. Cheers.
Going to the driver who's finished P2 out of nowhere, Abdul Samad. You left the
Hmm.
commentators amazed yet again with a
Finally, the commentators
pretty,
are amazed.
pretty. I mean, I don't even know what to say for your race because you probably I don't know how many overtakes you made because I mean you weren't caught too much in action because there was nothing much happening around you except from people spinning around hitting each other and you just making up those positions.
Like basically, I was doing two things primarily. First was avoiding getting in contact with other drivers who were spinning, and second thing was keeping it clean. So I think these two factors worked out well for me.
I see. I mean, it really did pay you quite great at the end of the race because I mean a P2 from I'm not sure where you qualified, but P2.
I believe it was P13 or P14. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from at least from right back at the end of the grid to P2 is a brilliant result. I mean, especially after knowing how
Feeling like
VFix
nobody was
just pulled
giving
away
up on
from
me.
everyone over and over again. I don't think P2 is any less than a victory for anyone going into the next race.
Definitely, definitely. The person
So
who came first, I call him a hacker because look at his face. I don't even consider him at our level. So it is like a mini victory for me. Yeah.
Yep, and we have Chips who's jumped the gun and joined our interview box. No problem, I can always have him. Chips, welcome here. You can probably take it away with VFix. I mean, being part of the race, you probably saw the pace he had.
Yeah, Efix, I don't know what to say about him. I think at one point I was at the final corner, he was at the start finish line. There was no way to keep up with him, but yeah. Uh, can I just ask what this party is for?
This is
Why?
actually the interviews going on, Chips, and you, like I said, you jumped the gun and entered the interview
Ah,
box.
oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I
It's
am
all
really
right.
sorry.
It's all right. But going away
We
to
got that.
yeah, it's fine. That I gave you the benefit of doubt and let you. I know you would love to be a commentator, so I let you take it away with VFix over there. But I mean, you just stated that he was too fast and never asked a question. But let me ask VFix a question. So VFix, how was that Sunday drive for you?
I mean, I have no words. I mean, I just nothing happened like in the entire race. Like the only thing I had to really focus on was the safety car restarts, and even that was made easy for me because everybody just kept blowing up at the back. So. The only problem I had was in the tire warm up of the first lap in the safety car because everyone, I don't know what was happening behind there, but everyone would just keep fighting with each other. So nobody even made a move on me except for the race start with PS. I had like half a look. So yeah, I was just pretty trying to keep it clean, trying to get those 2 extra points for the clean race thing. But yeah, I mean, qualifying was okay. It made like slight error on my last run, lost maybe a tenth, but I mean, yeah, just racing.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not wrong, in the way the hybrid theory points tally does stand, um, like famously said, subject to Stewart's report, you should be scoring about 39 points. And this is going to end up as quite a bit of points, which I didn't really expect, but it's going to be fun. And I mean, it would have been only fair for you to say that the factory gave you a really brilliant car, and you want to thank everyone who worked so hard to put
Yeah,
this
this
together.
this is the Alfa Romeo. If every other team actually followed the F8 regulations at the start of the year, uh,
You mean to say if FI didn't give them the leeway to not follow it?
yeah, if the other 9 teams didn't have any leeway, this would be the Alfa Romeo that showed up.
So
But
are you calling
yeah,
yourselves a Valtteri Bottas of Division Numero Uno?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being
I
Valtteri.
mean,
Man's pretty
Bottas
proud of
Bottas
himself.
does love to win the first race of the season quite
Yeah,
dominantly sometimes.
yeah.
So
Man
yeah,
is quite proud of himself and in himself, if you know what I mean.
yep.
Uh, he
I
has a
mean, yeah,
positive body image. So yeah,
and he's
that's
quite out
commendable.
there. If you yeah.
He's quite up there.
So
Give him
yeah,
that.
anyway, congratulations, VFix. That seemed like a pretty easy task for you. It was probably a little easier than staying behind Caesar all through Monaco. And
Yeah.
yeah, so hopefully next weekend you might have some more competition to deal with so that there's no 39 points being awarded to one driver, which makes me kind of rethink this entire point structure. But anyway, hats off to you. You deserve it. And congratulations again, Jishnu and Abdul. Brilliant race from all of you all. Thank you for being part of this league, and we hopefully will have much more fun races to go. And as you know, I'm a little bit of a loner in the commentary box right now because my partner easy level bot wanted to race elsewhere, so he kind of sorry he kind of
Yeah, try to
uh,
keep this PG here. I know.
yeah
Yeah, you
he
don't want
went
the
off.
first
So
stream getting content ID.
yep.
Yeah.
I mean I'm sure because Gaurav already said a couple of things while he saw a couple of drivers getting disqualified for going the wrong way. So yep. Anyway, thank you boys for making this lift off, and hope to see you next Monday at Brazil, which is the realistic performance race. So yep. See you all next week. Happy Diwali to everyone.
Ta-da.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Bye.